Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dump and Dish, episode number 12. Coach Zane, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Happy 4th of July coming up tomorrow.
We'll be releasing on 4th of July. Very excited.
Yeah, super excited for 4th of July. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I went and got my fireworks. Very excited about that.
Ooh.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Makes it my favorite holiday.
The old bouncy house gets delivered today. It's
a
little different style party in our house.
Yeah, that's going to be fun though.
Yeah.
No more front yard grass though. That's gone. See ya.
Nope, that's all right though. It's worth it. The kids are going to have a blast. I think, we'll have 20-something kids over, plus neighborhood kids,
Popping in, popping out. 100%. Got the bike crew coming through.
Yeah, the bike gang will see it.
Exactly.
And we'll have 25 bikes parked in the front yard also, which is awesome. So that'll be fun.
Nice. All right. First thing on the list today, draft. The old prospect camp's coming around. What'd you think of the draft? What'd you think of the new setup? Nobody there. GMs at their own little war rooms. What'd you think of that?
They're always weird tickets to sell. Like I went to the one here in St. Louis.
Was it weird?
It's a weird atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to the horse races though, because you're on the clock, and it's kind of like you go to the horse races over in Illinois here, and it gets really exciting for a minute.
Yeah, and then there's 45 minutes of just sitting around doing nothing.
20 minutes. Yeah. What was their slogan over there? Every 15 minutes, the place goes crazy when we were kids, or something like that. It's kind of like that. So a lot of downtime, and when you're there, you don't see the insights of the analysts and the talk.
Yeah,
that
you
they
don't get the background. There's not a live reporter.
And when it was here, it was pre Twitter, so you also didn't get Elliot Friedman telling you everything that was going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
So you definitely missed that part of it. And not that I sit there and watch the draft for hours, but the first 3 or 4 picks, I'll sit down and watch that. But that's exciting. I think having it on the TV, you get so much more information.
Yep.
And you're at least for me, I'm into it more, but I can also get away from it. If, I want to go do something else, I'm not captive to the arena.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't go to another one, unless I would, at some point was ever with a team or something that, in a professional capacity. Yeah, but as a random fan, I don't think I would do one in-house again if they do that again. But I personally like it. I like the war rooms. I like, watching it on TV where you get all the analysts and they're all trying to decide who they're going to pick and why, and the trades, and you hear about the trades, possibly,
that's the way better
scenes
part. The 30 minutes before the draft's the best part.
Oh, yeah. You're watching the horse trading going on and the shenanigans that happen behind the scenes. So that's my take on it. I think we'll see how the Blues end up. Going specifically to them, but overall, not a super exciting draft year.
No.
Nobody had that buzz.
I hear the next year is going to be a big one, though. People aren't making trades just in case they get the first pick.
Yes.
So I heard Chicklets were talking about that, or somebody was, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, I've heard that from a couple different people that next year is going to be an exciting draft year.
Figure out who that kid is.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. Yeah. What about the prospect camp videos coming out, Coach? I liked them.
So cool to see the pros working on the fundamentals.
First day of camp. What are we doing? Fundamentals.
Yeah.
Everybody get in line.
Yeah, there was line skating, there was stick handling, there was tight turns. I like
Crosby's, slow speed Crosby's.
Yeah, I could go around and pick something from all these NHL camps that are pretty much the drills that we run in our camps. And it's so cool to see that even at the highest level of the game, the focus is still on those fundamentals and going back and slowing everything down and then building it back up to, eventually full speed, competition that they're going to be in. But yeah, you have to go back to the fundamentals and getting the coaches out there and working them through different situations and even just standing and shooting. I saw some of that too. It's crazy that they go all the way back, and I love it.
Yeah. I saw our top draft pick. He laid a big hit, then took the puck and scored. Did you see that clip online?
I did see that clip online.
I'm sure everybody saw that. It was the only thing that really came out of our prospect camp.
I did see that, and I forget which club it was, but one of the clubs for a second year in a row elected no on-ice work.
That's weird.
It was very weird. So they bring them all together, and I don't know if it's just classrooms or what, but they had elected no on ice work.
I feel like the kids coming out these days love the ice. It's like you're punishing them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was a weird one.
All right, free agency took place. What'd you think of the big the old Rack Pack staying
I
together.
was gonna say,
All
watch it.
3 back in Florida.
Yeah, and you were saying until like 2030.
Yeah, there's like I think I saw like a 12 or 15 person list that signed through 2030 for that team. That's scary.
Yeah, that's that's a powerhouse. That's a dynasty waiting to happen. If you know, keeping that together as long as there's not major turmoil,
Or
you know.
injury.
Well, and keeping the same 12 together can be awesome, and also can you get one that starts to grind on the other people, like it can also be some issues there too. So, you know, they're all professionals, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with the same 12 people over and over and over and over and over again, and for the next, you know, 5-6 years. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple trades that happen eventually to move some of those people on. So it looks awesome today.
Yeah.
You know, but the future will hold. Like you said, injuries, those types of things. Just being a hockey player, you know, age catches up with some of them. But yeah, on paper right now, they look awesome.
Yeah, they definitely locked it in.
Yeah. So
Marner to Vegas. You see that? I hear there might be some
Yeah.
tampering charges coming down
yeah.
the pipe.
Well, I heard he came out, was it yesterday or the day before, and talked about that. You know, when they had been playing in the Four Nations, he had been asking some of the Vegas guys what it was like to live there. So like he might have checked out coming back from Four Nations.
It could have been.
And you know, was starting to work his path to get to Vegas, but. Yeah, he came out and said, "Yeah, you know, when I was at Four Nations, I was talking to a few people and
seeing what life was like.
Seeing what life was like in
Dipping
Vegas."
his toe in.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so yeah, I could see some tampering charges. I saw their jerseys came out like hours after.
Did they?
Yeah, in their pro
Nice.
shop, like, oh no, nobody knew this was coming.
Yeah,
and
definitely
then the pro shop is just loaded with Marner jerseys in Vegas. So
Staff was on call, Coach. All
Yeah.
right, staff was on call.
I mean, I guess they do make them in the lobby now of Enterprise. If you go down there,
Really?
yeah,
You get
they-
your own name put on right then?
whatever name or
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the players' name. But yeah, they have a table set up where they'll. I don't know if they stitch them or if whatever it is screening on it, but like they do make a jersey for you while you
custom
wait.
jersey
Yeah,
right there?
yeah, right in the concourse level.
No McDavid news. What do you think McJesus is going to do?
I think he's got to make a move.
I don't think he does. I don't think he goes anywhere.
Oh, we're opposite on this.
Not at all. Like I should he? Yeah, absolutely. But like I don't see him going anywhere.
He's like Tarasenko here in St. Louis. He deserved a new start, and you know I think it's the same thing. Like give him a fresh start somewhere.
See, but then like you hear the other side's like, oh, he's like LeBron, can't win it. He had to go join his buddies to be able to win a championship. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's a big market. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he likes it.
It is a big market. They say it's the best ice to skate on. That
Yeah.
it's not really used for anything else in Edmonton.
Yeah.
That you know they keep it ice, and it's you know that really helps the keep really good ice, and
Yeah.
geographically also helps that too where they're located. But yeah, if he's happy, obviously I don't know what happens.
No,
Once he walks down the tunnel, we stop seeing what's really happening, and as long as he's happy and they're happy, like. If it's a good home, it's a good home, and if you live there for so long, you know everything, like
It's home.
Yeah, the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Like, he didn't have to go to Four Nations and start asking about Vegas.
No, those reports haven't come out yet.
Yeah,
At least.
yes, but no, I mean if he's happy, stay. But if I was in his position, I'd look for a fresh start. I would try to go somewhere that.
Are you going to join a team better than you're at? Like, who's the only what are you going to? The only other team I can think of is Colorado, and they don't have $18 million laying around a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's 2 years in a row. You're in the finals. You're second best.
Yeah.
Interesting though. I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah, or you like change it up completely and go to like a Carolina.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Rod the bod.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
But anyway.
All right. Topic for today, big one. How do I get the most out of camps or a lesson as a player? What should I be doing? What's your thoughts, Coach? I'll hang up and listen.
So, number one, preparation. And making sure that you're eating before you come. How many kids do we have that show up to camp and it's like, man, my tummy hurts. Oh, yeah? What'd you have for breakfast? Nothing. Or
it's 3:00. What'd
Yeah.
you have for lunch? Nothing.
Yeah, and especially those ones that are in the weird times of the day. You have that, noon to 2:45.
Yep.
Like, you got to force yourself to eat something, a little earlier breakfast or a little earlier lunch and some snack or just keep something in your body. Make sure you have a water bottle.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, how many kids?
For camp, yep.
I forgot it, or it's in my bag.
Water
or it's
away here at the facility.
Yeah. At camps, like, make sure you have a water bottle. Put it on top of the bench. Those are all things before you even put on your equipment that you need to take care of.
Yep.
And then once you put on your equipment, I always tell parents, put the kid's name on their helmet. They will get coached so much more if I see their name starting on Monday. And I'll memorize it because of that. Like, my first day,
yell it across the ice all week also.
Yeah, I try to memorize on Mondays. That's one of my goals of camps, is that I memorize as many names as I possibly can.
Yep.
And obviously we have the repeat ones that are easy. I see them week in, week out.
Yep.
Or lessons, but there's always new people, and the ones that put their name on their helmet will get coached so much more because like you said, I can call their name from across the ice.
Yep.
Hey, Timmy, one hand on your stick. Instead of line 4, put your stick on, and so names on the helmet are huge. Making sure your equipment's in good working order. It's expensive to go to camps and lessons, and so many kids show up
45 minutes messing with an elbow pad or something that lost Velcro.
Yeah, or just even like, I picked my helmet up and there's no screws in my cage anymore.
Yeah.
And especially if your kid's one that has to have everything perfect. I've got one of those that, like, if something doesn't feel right,
we're gonna have problems.
We have problems.
Yeah.
It's still perfectly functional, but if it's not feeling perfect, so like making sure that her equipment is always great to go when it's time for a camp. And just maximizing the amount on the ice. Don't stand in the back of the line. Those back of the line people typically mess around a little bit more, even if it's not you, it's the people around you not that the troublemakers try to go to the back, but they definitely are not up in the front of the lines.
Yeah, they're not racing to be first row.
Yeah. The ones that don't pay attention as much typically float towards the back. Stay up towards the front of the lines. Make sure you're listening when the coach. Don't be a disruption. Like, all the things that we
leave the puck alone while I'm talking.
100%. Yeah. Like, get the most out of these camps. Again, I know that they're expensive, and you've got a limited amount of time on the ice with these awesome coaches. Take advantage of that and learn from them. Last point when it comes to this is, when we come in for groups, don't be worried about being the first back to those lines. We see that a lot too, where we bring them into a huddle to talk about a specific thing, and there's always 3 or 4 of them that float off, and they're more worried about being first.
They're not listening. They're worried about getting back to be first in line.
Back to their corner, first in line. Again, first doesn't mean the best. Just somewhere towards the front. But yeah, don't cheat the instruction portion of it to be the first one back to your line to get the first shot. By the way, we're going to do this for 5 minutes, so you're going to get 20 shots, 30 shots. So, make sure you take in every time that we bring players in, or any coach, and don't be the one that wants to rush off or rush off the ice at the end, or whatever it may be. Anything else? Anything else?
You summed up a lot of it, Coach. I think the preparation's key, and it's just think about it. 5 minutes before, you're ready to go. You know what I mean? Before you get there, on the car ride, actually think about what you're going to go do. And I think just getting your mind right is the biggest thing I see that can really help. Have a plan when you come in for a lesson.
We didn't talk lessons. You take lessons. I took camps there.
Well, I think a lot of it filters over back and forth, like the preparation, eating a meal before you go take a lesson. Having something to work on is important.
Yeah.
You think about it throughout the week. If you have a weekly lesson, you got something. It's going to come up next week. So when you're practicing, you're struggling with something, put it in the old memory bank. Hey, I need to work on this. And then when Coach asks when you walk in, hey, what do you want to work on today? You got an answer and you're ready to go, and you're excited to learn it because you just struggled with it, and now I can, helps here to make it better.
Yeah.
Be prepared to work hard.
Oh, get your skates sharpened too before camps.
That's
one too.
Sharpened.
That's part of that.
Lessons we give you a skate sharpen.
Yeah, but that reminded me. I was going through that and tape your stick. Those are 2 other pieces of equipment that we got to really make sure you take care of that can ruin a whole camp. If you've got a bad stick blade, like it's cracked or broken. We're doing a shooting camp, or you didn't tape it, and we're doing stick handling all day. It can be very frustrating. And then again, if your skates have a bad edge, like you're just
a long day.
You're done.
It's a long day.
And inevitably that's going to be on tight turn days.
Yeah.
In the direction that you have a bad edge.
100%. But no, I think the more with the facility and taking lessons, the big work comes before you get there.
Yeah.
When you're at practice and you're struggling, put it in the memory bank, bring it over to the coach, and then before you get there, eat, have some water, get prepped up to go for a lesson. Yeah. So a little thought on the way there, and a little thought during the week because another one's coming next week.
Sweet.
Well, that's all I got, Coach. You have anything else?
No, man. No. Again, happy 4th of July to everybody out there, and stay safe, but have a lot of fun.
Happy birthday, America.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dish, episode 12. We're out. See you.
See you.